Imagine, flew higher than most, I'm always traveling. Been places that you never been twice. Winning all around the world, I'm victory lapping. How did it happen? How did it happen? Stay focused with a lot of distractions. I was shipping packs like I manufacture. Used to move the product, I'm still a product of that shit. Killer Cam taught me keep calm under pressure. Moms told me stay out of trouble. As if I was trying to make a little money on my own. Graduated from an 8th to a zone, now I'm grown. 16, started writing 16s. Late night, candlelight, making sure the pen was right. Shootouts outside the studio. I was in the hood when you was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Stop dealing dope, it just wasn't in the cars. When I got robbed in the car.
Yo, man, what's good? It's your boy Jay Bender here with another epi for Kush and Coffee podcast. Today we got the God in the building, Kush, on the Kush and Coffee podcast.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
Shout out to Vic Mesa, right?
Yeah, this is Vic Mesa and Joey Perp. That's 773 Freestyle, repping our city.
Yeah. Shout out to the guys from 93 Boys. You know what I'm saying? We got some octane from them over here too.
Yeah, we got one of their new drops, that peanut butter mints. It's a nice 31%er. We're gonna go ahead and smoke some of that in a second. Rolling up some of this.
Peace, family. How you doing, man?
I'm good, brother. Thank you. I'm just rolling up this Golden Gate Bridge, you know.
Yeah.
Reversing on thoughts, marinating on the day, and seeing what the universe transfolds, you know. This paradise that I'm building for us.
So shit, me and the guy, we kind of met just a couple weeks ago. We chopped it up. Now we on the podcast.
Yeah.
We had a good spiritual conversation, good financial education talk, you know what I'm saying? Music talk, entrepreneur talk, and now we on to talk to give you guys a little more insight of the conversation that we had last time when it took place here at Ori Studios, where we sit down and enjoy some Kush and coffee. We ain't got no coffee today. It's too late.
Yeah, it's a little late for some coffee.
It's too late for some coffee.
Definitely got a lot of cush.
We gonna go ahead and say this is the Kushy Kush coffee show today. You know what I'm saying? Kushy Kush podcast show, because we got the man Kush himself.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, good Kush and Kush on the day. We got this big ass doinker I just rolled up, man. Before we get in this conversation,
oh yeah,
spark this hoe.
What you got twisted up in there?
This is some grape gas, bro.
Grape gas?
So I met these hippies at this cultivation fest.
Okay.
And they came through and they plugged your boy, dog. So it was like...
That's love. That's always love.
It was crazy as hell. Because at the cultivation fest, they just came up to me like free spirit as fuck, too. Just like super free spirit, dog. No care in the world. Like I could have, like easily, but you know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of energy in this world. I could have easily like set them up or robbed them, some stupid shit, because I come from that culture in them days back in the day, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like that my energy and their energy connected, and it was compatible with another. That's the only reason why that frequency made the connection that day. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
so
up.
They knew like I was a good spirit, and they were a good spirit. We was just free spirits, and then we met up the next couple days. And then, you know what I'm saying, we did our thing. And
that's beautiful.
Brought me some grape kush. This shit was amazing. This shit put you down.
I can't wait to taste it.
Put you down, bro.
Good old indica?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So, yeah, well, you know, one thing that I find very interesting about a lot of plants that are purple, and a lot of people don't know this, but it's about temperature control. You know, for all you...
oh, no, this ain't purple. It just smells like grape.
Oh.
It smells fruity as fuck.
But it's an indica dominant strain, yeah? Here, let me see. What I see.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Very piney. It's got, I don't know how I can't.
Tasty, right? Like fruity and shit.
Oh, I can definitely smell the grape.
So it's called grape gas, bro, and that shit been smoking. Me and my homeboy smoked some the other day this morning. And he be having these little zigzag cones. They're like called like little 20s or some shit, 18s. But Bell, we smoked one of those the other day. And dog, that shit put me down and sleep on the couch. You know what I'm saying? I was like, dog, we barely even smoked any of that shit. And then we smoked some other shit called G-Stack, and that shit put me down too. But this grape gas been killing me.
Yeah, that's what's up. I usually have been smoking like some blueberry clementine, some bionic cheetah lately from Revolution. I've been picking a lot from the stores lately. A few of the underground people that I do still communicate with, I don't like to name drop because they don't want to be in that industry.
Of course.
But just phenomenal results. I think it's going to be good just to see how this saturated market becomes undersaturated, even though it's oversaturated right now with quality in the next few coming years, especially with just how like so much has been going on with how people been trying to grow good weed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I can't wait because I'm one of those people that just wants to produce some of the best medical grade cannabis and provide it, you know, to people that really need it as medicine.
Yeah.
Not just like to get high and then to enjoy it. Like there's so much therapeutic reasons, especially with like children that have like Alzheimer's and epilepsy or autism and go through seizures. You know, there's so much research and advancements that we need out there so that there can be more progress made.
And it's a natural plant, man. It's been here since the beginning of time.
They've been using it forever. You know, I recently saw some crazy article on it popped up on my news feed, right? It was telling me that the plant actually is not from our planet, and I started laughing.
What?
It was hilarious. It was like a little comic strip. It was like a little comic strip, but the way they made it sound, you know, the person, he's actually a big talker too. What's his name? Chris, not Chris. Brain fart at the moment. Can't remember. Oh, thanks, brother. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's always talking about being awoke and being spiritually aware and just higher consciousness. And he was actually going off on this, and you know, a lot of his things are so interesting, but I always love to find the narrowness in my thought that I see in what others are expressing to allow myself to give an open thought and revisit why was I thinking that, and then open my thought to understanding more of the explanation. And, you know, I guess it is from another world because everything, including us, we're universal. The word atoms and atom, look how similar they are. People really try to, you know, put them together and say that they are one thing. But in all actuality, science, religion go hand in hand in my eyes, in my perspective. And a lot of people will hate me to say this, but I don't care because that's what I feel. That's how I see it in my existence. And virtuously speaking, it's all about, right, the pursuit of happiness in our paradise that we want to create. So if we keep life with an open mind versus the closed lens that's put on us, the veil from birth, we're gonna explore, and that's kind of how we connected, brother.
Shit, the closed veil, though, I mean, that's a society now, closing the veil on everybody else, man. Just trying not to keep them to a point where they can't even think for themselves nowadays. You know what I'm saying? So, like, coming out the womb and the veil, that's just a society that they want to, you know what I'm saying? It takes the strong ones for us, like that don't perceive that way of society. You know what I'm saying?
You had rich men like, what was his name? John D. Rockefeller Rothschild, the original heir to the Rothschild family, the one that started a part of the banking system. They actually went ahead as far as saying that we don't need owners, we don't need workers, we need robots. So a lot of their money, other than pharmaceuticals, went into privatized research, which would work on understanding frequencies, understanding sound waves, understanding hertz, and how the mind is manipulated. And then even think about the longer stretch of the connection between all of the different organizations, the proprietors that have come up over time in the name of research through private or government funded grants. And now what they're doing is using that to control and monopolize a system that is basically zombified, right?
Oof. Preach, my brother. Zombified. Just look at the culture now. It's like everybody wants to.
I thought Suicide Games.
Look at the music culture, though.
Look at the movie.
Suicide Games?
And then now they're making a Netflix channel about it, a TV series where you can go to compete. And just think of the level of intellect that TikTok, right, and other data companies all around the world have gathered, right, with these different algorithms and equations.
Yeah.
Now you have industries all around the world that are subliminally with this data using the metrics and the algorithms to apply for you to just watch that TV forever. I mean, even myself, you know, I'm a networker.
Or your phone, or get you trapped in that
cannot
social
put my
dilemma.
phone down. It is so hard.
Yep.
And now I have to make sure I find 3 to 5 hours of my day, other than sleep, that I have to be away from my phone. That means make notes and just write down what I need to do. Get on the phone and kind of do it, and isolate myself. You know, it's one thing I love about the Jewish people in our community. I grew up in Uptown in Rogers Park, right?
Okay.
And in Rogers Park, the Jews, they have this thing called the Sabbath. So on Saturday, they don't use any electricity. And
No shit.
That's what I learned about a part of their culture, you know, growing up around them. And that literally told me, like, hey, this is actually a cultural thing, but this is something practiced, you know, by different communities. Even my community, and like how I grew up in a Jain household, we were literally no, you know what I'm saying? Electricity on this day or that day, no certain foods on this day or that day. There were rules, and you had to basically abide by them, unless there were reasons for like health or pregnancy or any like elderly age, you know.
Yeah.
But with those exceptions and those guidelines, like, I still can't believe I'm over here just chopping it up with you about all this, and it's crazy just to like express to the world. I haven't been on a mic since college, when I was on the WZRD 88.3, the radio station,
Oh, shit.
and I was just one of their talk show hosts.
Yeah, for me, man, I think it's becoming like more easier, because compared to like everybody else's podcast, you know, everybody's got their own way and what which way they approach it. You know what I'm saying? And I always feel it's just come have a conversation with a God. You know what I'm saying? Come sit down and talk and see
Tell me about that. What makes you call me God?
What makes you call you God? Because we are a perception of God, my boy. We are God of creation, right?
We are God body.
Yeah, God body creations.
Yes.
We are
created in the creator of our image.
Yes.
We are created in the image of our creator.
Our creator. And he is a God, right? So
I actually find that to be very therapeutic, right? Because we are created in our creator's image. Our creators are who? Our mother and our father. So, and I taught this saying to myself, hearing it so much, that, you know, the key to heaven is under our mother's foot, but no one ever told us how to use that key. And after thinking so much deeply in my head one day, I was like, the door to using the key is obeying my father's commands blindly. You see, we were given all of the scripts and all of the text, all of the guidelines in every way, shape, and form. And even if it was cryptic, our minds was always able to break it down. And I think that is one of the other beauties of our human nature, survival, you know, with
human instincts, bro.
With like, how old we are and where we come from, our DNAs, our genetics, the migrations. And there are so many conflicting ideas that people have that, you know, talk about why one is not the same as the other. But let me remind everybody, we're all human. Y'all bleed. Y'all bleed red. So what's the point of fighting over this or that or anything? If it's money, really, it's a piece of paper. I'm sure y'all can work it out, figure it out.
What is paper though? What is money?
Something we cut off of a tree. Something I literally cut off of a tree, and I turned into a paper to roll this nice doink.
People take that piece of paper and use it like it's some fucking tool to unlock the world, and a world that was made up by a society to keep us trapped. You know what I'm saying?
Marginalized. So a lot of people have this lens and this view that they need money, or this personification that money's gonna solve all of their problems in the world.
Buy you happiness, give you this, and it's not.
In all reality, hard work and dedication, the struggle that you go through is what builds you, and you appreciate where you come from when you have that. Because when you come from nothing and everything is handed to you, if you look at facts, the people in the world that these rich people whose children have everything, unfortunately, they struggle. They struggle with so much. And it's whether it's the public's eye, social acceptance, the media, and so many other things in so many different lenses. You've got so many gated groups and communities that marginalize and hold you accountable for things. And it's because they have things over your head, right? Well, are you really afraid? Are you afraid of them, or are you afraid of God? Are you afraid of what you know or who they pray to? Because at the end of the day, yeah, this may be his domain, but this domain was given for him to test you. And if you are being tested, then are you failing or passing by not speaking up? And that comes from all of y'all Bibles, all of y'all books, Torahs, Qurans, Bhagavad Gitas, you know. Ain't this or that. All y'all lineage comes hereditary to these sacks.
Yep.
So one sack ain't different from another, is it, my brother?
It's just a different story told.
Just because your skin is darker or lighter don't mean you different from me.
Still
Just
got the
remember
same
that.
kind of veins, the nervous system, brain, heart, lungs. We still all got the same shit inside of us, man.
The corruption in the minds of oneself is what has allowed the corruption of this country, and the corruption in our school systems, the corruptions in our environments. And instead of actually digging in, diving head in deep to become a progress of that change, and I challenge any of you, every one of you listening, to try to go out there and succeed in school. Believe it or not, that will be that anchor, that tool. And I know this because I was using that anchor all the way up until I got shot. And then you know what? People got scared. Oh, he got shot. What is he doing? I was a bystander crossing the street, going home to visit my mother and wish her a happy birthday.
On her birthday, you got
The
shot?
night of. And I wake up 3 days later on my half birthday, right? And I lose my grandmother. My parents lost it because when they gave me the news 3 months later, I told them I already knew. They were like, how? I'm like, grandma came to visit me in my dream and told me that she had to leave and that it's going to be okay and that I wouldn't be able to see her when I come back to India and show her, like, because I was growing out my hair. I was going through, like, another phase, a stage in my life of change and growth and in the versions of creating a better version of myself. I was tapping into my antennas and my roots and letting my hair, you know, drape. I was getting it whipped up, whatever, doing my thing. And eventually, you know, I lost her, but I still had that connection. So me just getting so much more woke after that accident because of the opiates and the medication and just questioning to my parents, you know, like, what are chakras? What are mudras and energy? You feel me?
Yeah.
It kind of tripped them out because they're like, well, you should know this stuff from when you were a kid. Don't you remember? And as I got older, you know, you get distance from your culture, especially me being Americanized.
Yeah.
So, like...
So you grew up here in the States. You weren't born in India, right?
I was born in India.
Were you?
Yeah. I came here when I was 5, actually.
No shit.
Yeah. So I came here speaking Gujarati, Hindi, you know, and Sanskrit. English was actually my 4th language.
So growing up in India, man, do you remember any of that or no?
I do, actually. You know, it was, I remember it fairly well, like it was yesterday. And I travel as often as I can, you know, to go back.
Go back and forth and shit?
Yeah, I got a lot of family there. My father...
Well, let's go to India, G. I got a passport.
Whenever you want. I just got mine renewed.
Did you?
And, yeah,
Bro, I'm down.
we
I'm
can
down to go
visit,
fucking see
listen,
India.
we can go visit Gujarat. We can go Delhi. We can go Mumbai. And we don't call it...
I got listeners in Mumbai.
You know, we can go. Yeah, we can definitely go.
Dead
and
ass.
They'll be great. We could probably host something down there, like at a coffee shop. You come down there. You're.
Is the weed legal in India?
And a meet and greet.
Can you get weed?
Oh, you can definitely get it.
Okay.
Is it legal? No.
No.
But can you smoke it? I mean,
Everybody
why
smokes
can't
Kush,
you smoke
right?
it? Right.
It's probably like the native plant there in India, right?
that's what I've been-
Akish,
that's what I've
Kush,
You
Kush
know,
named
so
after the plant.
The beauty of what I know about the word Kush, right? Kush is a Sanskrit word. And Kush actually comes from his twin brother, Love. So Love and Kush were twin boys born to Ram and Sita. Ram and Sita were the Indian Adam and Eve of the Bhagavad Gita.
I was about to say, is this like...
Yeah, so, and then, like, just like in the Quran, you got Adam and Hawa and their 2 sons and twin boys. In the Torah...
Same story.
Yeah, and it's repeated over and over in every history, everywhere in Africa, from the Egyptians to South America with the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incans.
Yeah.
You know, you have so much correlation in history, in scripture, and in knowledge. And if people just spent more time enjoying the fruits, you know what I'm saying, of their hard work, they're going to be so much more blessed with the divinity that they have been waiting for, because it's there. You just been thinking it's not there. Think that it's there and you're going to have it.
Yeah.
Stop putting that blocking your own way.
You're your own enemy, man.
I had to tell myself that so many times
Me too,
in life
bro.
growing up, and my
Me
mom
too.
would tell me, just keep your mouth shut. You'll learn more because God gave you 2 ears.
Yeah, you can hear things. Listen, just listen. Don't
Actively
talk.
listen, yeah.
Yeah, don't talk. Just listen. Be a student first before you want to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that. I wanted to add on, like, growing up, I always wanted to be a CEO, right? I wanted
Yeah.
to be a boss. So I started studying accounting in high school, got into an accounting program, and realized most CEOs of companies come from their accounting or finance department. They're senior accountants or senior finance.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Let me just learn this game. At that point, when I got the sauce to what I wanted from that, I was like, I can just build CEOs. I don't even have to do this to be a CEO. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just came from the motivation, right? I was learning from my teachers, eventually trying to be a teacher. But in my journey, it took so long for me to realize how and what I was going to do for me to be able to create that manifestation, for me to end up where I always foreseen myself.
So for that, I could say the same thing because I always seen myself as this ordinary being on this planet. You know what I'm saying? I don't fit in with everybody else.
I think if you're unique, you fit in. But if you're ordinary, you tend to not fit in, and that's where a lot of the social anxiety actually comes in.
Yeah.
Because you're too busy trying to fit in.
Yeah.
As a kid, I had that problem
You know,
all the time.
it was a trouble of keeping up with the avatar that I created. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, instead of just loving myself for what I have and what I am, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to keep up with all this shit that I got going on, and it gets overwhelming as a human being when you just need to focus on yourself and let everything just fall into place.
Literally, I so agree. And lately, I'm so grateful for the universe.
Yep.
Everything's been falling so much into place. I've been doing these shows. I've been networking. We're having back-to-back events every other Monday at a Mid-Lanes in Logan Square.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah. Other than the events in Logan Square, we're actually having an event tomorrow. That's going to be pretty nice. It's going to be 10 plus vendors. There's also a FIFA tournament going on, $300 cash
What?
prize.
Come on, man.
Yes.
And this is tomorrow?
Yes.
I leave tomorrow.
$300 cash prize.
What time is the tournament?
It starts at 6.
Oh, see, I'll catch a plane at 7.
All right, but hey, listen, there's always next time. These tournaments are going to be hosted every month or every other week as well. So
No shit.
Yeah.
Or at the same spot?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. And then other than that, I've been
What is the Midland?
Mid-Lanes is a gaming lounge and bar. You can actually game while you lounge and have a drink. You can go there with a date. You can chill.
Cannabis?
hang out.
No.
You can't smoke in there, but you are more than welcome to step
Step
outside.
outside?
And on the side, there is just, a place that you can stand and kind of, just mind your business.
How big is it there? What's the capacity like? That'd be kind of like lit, low key, just to throw like an event, like a live podcast there and shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be hard because you'd have a lot of background gaming noise.
No, I'll be able to mic it out.
But then I think the max capacity in there is like 50 or 100.
It's like an old school gaming shit.
Nah, new. Everything's new pretty much. You got TVs, lounge, couches, chairs.
I'm talking about the gaming.
No, it's new. But you have old games on the systems.
Oh, okay. Hey, but let's tap back into you talking about when the rich kids got everything and they, you know what I'm saying, they suffer a lot more than what we do. Because I had a couple of kids on here called TDK, and they talked about growing up in Skokie. You know what I'm saying? North side.
Decent little area.
Yeah, so
No lie, I grew up with a mom and dad. I was grateful.
So they express on how they had different experience of the world that they grew up in because they never seen hardship or failure because of the bubble that they lived in. You know what I'm saying? And if you wanted to be successful, you had all the tools and resources around you for you to be successful.
Yeah.
You know, like in us in the culture of the ghetto, we have to go find individuals, and then we can't really trust everybody because it's so cutthroat in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Coming through the culture that way, sometimes you can barely trust your own family members.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Brothers
and then
kill each
growing
other
up,
for
and then growing
50
up,
cents.
and then growing up, you seen dope heads, you seen, dope addicts walking around the neighborhoods and shit. So in Skokie, they don't see that shit up there. They explain that shit. They think it's like cool, like rock stars to be on that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the variations of it is different in each side of us, in the ghetto and in the rich side, because the rich kids just want to do it to party like their favorite rock star. But in actuality, we sell the drugs to them, you know what I'm saying, or the neighborhood and the ghetto sell the drugs to the rich kids that come and try to just be rock stars. But meanwhile, we know what they turn us into, because look at what we do to around our neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's why we never grew up in the culture smoking fucking crack or doing heroin. That's why we just smoke weed, because we know what the fuck that's going to bring to, Yeah. And it's just like, it just tripped me out when I seen that cycle just like that, and the bubble, how they explained it, like the bubble they grew in. And that's when they faced it, like some anxiety and depressions, because they were experiencing a world they never even knew outside of that bubble. You know what I'm saying? So it's like crazy how like different, and that's what you said about like people, they don't understand like the shit that people go through from their perspective. There's different societies built for each individuals and each stages of individuals.
It's actually more gated than you would think it is open, because of the way the structures are set up and foundations are built to provide resources and allocated. There's still separation versus singularity, and it's just plural, meaning everybody. And I think that's the problem, right? Everybody's being selfish more than they are selfless. If everybody was selfless, the whole world would be better, because nobody would be worrying about them. They'd have somebody worrying about them, and they could worry about everybody else.
Because if you look even like the air quality, they live not next to no steel mills. Look at Gary in East Chicago. Yeah. Hammond, Whiting, all poverty areas, living in the small cities.
And that's where the factories are. That's where the worst water is. The pipes in those
crazy.
waters is horrible. I remember
just like Flint, bro.
I remember when I was a Uber Lyft driver, right? An independent contractor, just driving, trying to make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah.
And I had a customer dropping them off on the west side, a mother. She had 3 kids. I feel so bad, because she was telling me how her babies have cancer. And, as someone who grew up in the city of Chicago, feeling welcome from all skirts of town and, like, loving my city for everything that it had to offer, everything from every side of every ghetto to everything from every hardship to every good thing that it had to offer, It just came down to, why are people like this?
Yeah.
And it just made me realize I gotta be better. I gotta just do me.
Yep.
Show people how to do it. Be that line of example. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here you go, little bro. There's the blueprint.
Yeah.
There's the sauce that you ain't want to pay me for, because you owed me for that consultation fee.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's, I think, really provocative, because people will genuinely try their best and most to keep others down as they elevate themselves, right? When in all actuality, it's about bringing each other up.
Yep, 100%.
And, I think that's kind of why I started, like, doing what I did in college. Hey, my name's Kush. Call me Kush. The reason I got into smoking was for self reasons, to run away from trauma, family, and this and that. But then once Kush took off, it was just like, everybody knows Kush. Man, that's Kush, bro. Oh, shit, that's Kush. And now I'm just to the point where I've been behind the scenes for so long. And what I mean by that is, I've been one of the individuals that's been actively committing to spreading the information that we need, so that residents knew that this was actually available. Can we get these signatures and make it known? Be that voice, and spread information. Knowledge is power. If you don't know, you're gonna be left out. You know, it's that saying, if you know, you know. And most people, they think they know, they think they're woke, but they're really just on a very low vibration, a low frequency. And gracefully, you know, being able to have a vibration myself, I can vibrate on all spectrums.
Yeah.
God body, you know, that's what that is. It's being able to understand who's in front of me, what they really need, take that negative up out of them, you know what I'm saying? Send that back to the universe for the universe to purify and cleanse it, and just, you know, let that person grow. Because it took me a long time to feel satisfied in my life. You know, I chased success very early on in my life. I was interning with a Fortune 500, Deloitte & Touche, and that's one of the big five. That accounting firm is global. You know, they run the numbers, the consulting, the back end of a lot of infrastructures for a lot of corporations. And it's another JP Morgan, Ernest and Young, you know, that's what I mean by the big four. And that's an if you know kind of thing, where I wanted to be an accountant. I got into accounting, and that sauce just brought me up to knowing what I needed to do to get how I wanted to get flowing what I did, you know? And that's what got me into really consulting, getting into projects. One thing led to another, which brought me here, brother, because it's like life is about growth. And
100%.
if you choose to sacrifice your time, just make sure you're exchanging it for the best of you.
Yeah. So
Other than that, don't chase the money. The money's going to come.
The money always comes. You just got to make sure you're making the right decisions, you know?
Yes, sir.
That's where a lot of so for me, I got 5 kids. So like my time is like precious as hell now, especially with the little ones at home.
God bless you.
You know?
God bless you and God bless them. That is beautiful, man. That is beautiful.
So dealing with my first 2 and like the time missed, should I say. But in the meantime, I was still chasing doing this shit, you know? But I try to be there as much as possible, like every weekend and shit, as much as possible. Whenever I can pick them up, okay, I'll pick them up. But since I missed so much time also, you know what I'm saying? So now these little ones I have at home, I feel like I need to. Because, bro, I do this shit with no marketing, no promoting, no nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And it's great. It's
just
beautiful.
like super
I love
organic.
it.
And it's just like.
There's a niche to it. It's if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's an underground thing. You know, Cushion Coffee, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Last time we were talking, I told you, I was like, yo, I've heard of you.
Yeah, I had some people in Detroit. I met in fucking Detroit when we did I was up there doing some behind the scenes with my boy A-Laz for Freeway and shit.
Nice.
So we were up there shooting pictures and shit. I was shooting pictures. He invited me up there. And it was just cool as fuck, you know what I'm saying? Just like vibing, and then everything just happens. You know what I'm saying? Just being organic as fuck. And then some dude's like, hey, yo, what you do, man? You a cameraman? Yeah, man, I take pictures and shit like this. I also run a podcast called Kush Coffee. And he's like, bro, I heard of you. And he was an artist in Detroit, bro. He's like, I heard of this called podcast. So just being in Detroit, never even did no footwork or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Just motherfuckers know. Just because the logo alone is just an orange logo, man. You search that shit, Kush or coffee on that shit, it pop up.
I agree. You know, I've been smoking since I was like 13, 14, bro.
Yeah, I started when I was 11.
And like, I think I was actually 12, my bad.
Yeah.
And I think like after that, it just
Shout out
took
to my
off.
Uncle Jesse.
It was an on and off thing as a kid. You know, you're with your friends. You try to go and make sure you got the sanitizer and everything when you go home, so your mom don't get your head beat with the broom with
Whoop
a
your
chancla.
ass and shit.
Oh God, you know, my parents was old school, man.
Yeah, mine too.
You know, there's still some
Man,
childhood trauma from that.
Man, listen.
Hey, the kids these days don't understand how
You
good they got it.
2x4s, Twitches, what you get? Well, fucking extension cords.
What about hot oil?
Ooh, nah, I ain't got no hot oil throbbing.
See, yeah.
See, that's some Indian shit right there, boy.
Nah, that ain't no Indian shit. That's just some. You got two boys and they both got a lot of energy.
Oh my god.
Imagine like.
Bro, you threw hot oil at your brother? Or?
No. I don't want to go into details and get anybody into trouble.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. It wasn't me. I promise.
God damn, that's like throwing acid on somebody.
No. Actually, I'll just put it like this. I had hot oil on my face. And if you look at my face, I don't look like I ever got face burns.
Where, on the right side?
No, like my face.
Your whole face?
Almost, yeah. Like, let me see. Hold on.
Damn, you lucky you grow your fucking hair still.
Right here and right here. So basically, like, the left side of my cheek and the right side of my cheek. And you could tell, like, I had burns from, like, when I was, like, it was very, but luckily, my mom was a home doctor, right? Home remedy doctor.
Yeah.
She whipped up some little, you know what I'm saying, sauce and put some on my cheeks and made sure I did it for some weeks and voila.
Yeah, I fucking spilled like hot oil on my fucking foot one day. And my grandma, everybody was out, right? I was cooking sausages or something. I was like 8 years old, bro. I'm fucking cooking sausages with oil like a dumbass, you know what I'm saying? And fucking, I was taking the shit off the fire, and my little cousin come running through the fucking thing and then bump into me, and it just landed all on my shit. So my grandma's like an Indio, you know what I'm saying? Indian and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's old school.
Yeah, so she came in the crib, she grabbed some egg whites, whipped up some, blended them up, and it was like a foamy shit, and threw it over my foot, bro, and that shit looked like it didn't even happen. And it was like fucking, it was heavy bubble, white, peeling skin. You know what I'm saying? And she just threw the egg white on her. It was like cool. Like the next 4 days, she just kept it on. And the next thing you know, I ain't got no scar, no nothing from that shit. No third-degree burns or nothing. That shit was just crazy. She came home and whipped some shit up. Some ancestry shit. I'm real big on our heritage. How was you guys, like, you guys look back on your, like, fallen ancestors for guidance or anything like that?
Oh, all the time. You know, we've got guides, ancestral guides in our families that we have ways of talking to and accessing, you know, on the spiritual realm, as well as even this median, you know, in various forms.
Mm-hmm.
All sacred practices, though.
Mm-hmm.
So most of which is just like knowledge embedded through DNA, actually, by birth. It's complicating and crazy for me because I know so much about so many things in regards to like heritage. Like my whole name, bro, is like 18, 19, 20 names, and you know what I'm saying?
No shit?
Yeah, because it's like all my forefathers, you know what I'm saying, from this cycle. But we have forefathers from prior cycles.
Yeah.
That we have.
Your dad's such and such, you know what I'm saying? Your
We
grandfather.
We have data, basically, like conclusive, real life data, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Actual artifacts and actual, you know,
Documentations and everything.
Back in the day, you know.
All you got is scrolls and shit, right?
Yeah, so those are the documentations.
Tablets and shit like that.
No, we're older than that. Like, where did that writing come from? How did they know what to write on the tablet?
Yeah.
Right? So, and then you have keepers of knowledge, you know, keepers of information. That's, I guess, like what you can, you know, conclude to say who we would be. You feel me? Just observe, record, and document.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, right? To have a record of our heritage and our bloodlines for as long as we can date. And, you know, gracefully, I'm able to do that for a very, very, very backdated time, you know, just with all of the knowledge that I've meditated on.
Yeah. They're smoking some heavy ass kush right now.
And I just came from like heavy years of meditation, practice, lots of sacrifice, you know, and people think of that as a negative thing or something, but in reality, in life, to make room for what you want to receive, you have to put aside, you know, other things. You have to get rid of them.
Sacrifices.
Yep, there you go.
Especially when you're younger, too. You don't even understand it. Like, the times that I wasted just playing around fucking, you know what I'm saying, instead of learning or knowledge in myself as a kid, or gaining more knowledge, or being taught more knowledge, or being guided to more knowledge, you know? it's just like the things like that I had to learn. Wait so long till I get older and then understand and search for it for myself. So were you taught this shit like out the womb, like all the knowledge and everything, like since you were legit growing up? Your dad, your forefathers, your uncles.
Like I felt like I could always just feel them,
Yeah.
talk to them, access them whenever I need. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was through my emotions, whether it was through like whatever I wanted to do, no matter like starting a project, working on something, building something, creating something, understanding something, breaking it down, no matter what it was, like it was never impossible. I could always achieve whatever I put my mind to. And that's why I wouldn't spend so much time on things, because I could learn them and grasp them, not just the concepts, but the foundations, the structures, the laws, the rules, the do's, the don'ts, the creators who actually created these laws. Like right now, our entire world, right, is under draconian rule, you know, and it's publicly spoken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All you have to know is who are the custodians, right? Jay-Z, he is a custodian. He says it clearly in his tracks. You know, Hov was literally like, yeah, they turned me to the state's custodian. You feel me? What do you think he was referring to? At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People might call me goofy, a conspiracist,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
so many other things, but at the end of the day, I'll speak between these lines because I'm not far left, far
So
right.
let's get into that right now. What was define what he was
I really
saying?
feel like, you know, he was talking about draconian rule. What that I think means is like,
Let's hear the knowledge you got on it.
For that, I would ask you, right, a
Yeah.
question. I would ask you, why do you think Trump started the Space Galactic Federation?
Why?
Yeah.
Just
And have you heard about it?
yeah.
Yeah.
The Galactic Federation or the Space Force? There's Galactic
Space-
Federation now too. Is that what the other
Space
countries?
Galactic Federation. I think I
What-
think it's all one word, if I'm correct.
Galactic unit.
Space Galactic Federation or something like that, along those lines.
These fucking dudes.
Anyway.
No, let me hear this though.
But basically, right, the government's been working with aliens for a long time.
Oh, for a
supposedly,
long time. Yeah.
Right? I got my own thought that what if they just, you know what I'm saying, are aliens? We're talking about them gray things, right? We're talking about them little crazy monster looking things. We're not talking about, right, like people of the light, people that came from Sirius or other stars and came here to leave, you know, basically my ancestors.
Yeah, yeah.
I could go
Our
more
ancestors.
Deep, I could go more deep
We
into
can go deep with that.
Yeah.
That's my language.
like actual knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Documentation,
Yeah.
language, roots. You feel me? Like sacred temples, being able to have access to just things that are open actually to
Yeah.
everybody, but I know what they are versus because I've understood what I'm seeing and accepted it versus others who tend to be
Oblivion to what's
are
going
blissful to ignorance.
on. Yeah. Okay.
You know, ignorance is bliss, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they're just, oh, I'm the oldest, I'm the
Bro,
richest,
it's like-
I'm
it's-
this, I'm that. Everybody's this, everybody's that. You know, but in fact,
So did you get the jab? Yeah? You got the jab? So you blissful to what they told you to?
no. Like, did I get the jab? What do you mean?
The COVID shot.
Oh no,
Oh.
hell no, no, fuck no, dude, fuck no. And I'm worried about the vaccinations they gave me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming into the country,
Yeah.
as well as what they required my parents for me to be administered with, because my parents weren't given the facts that these are actually mutated
Yeah.
compounds being improvised, ingested into me as a means of chemical warfare or other structures, and so much more.
Bro, Robert F. Kennedy, he's Robert Jr., he was on the Joe Rogan podcast. He was talking about vaccines and how the mercury went straight to the blood brain stem.
Right.
It
And they
disappeared.
already know mercury kills.
Yeah, and that's what is the leading.
Poisonous.
That's the leadest reason why people would get their kids vaccinated and they end up with autism because mercury inside the brainstem. Because it says that it's no longer
It's
detectable.
a mutated born. It's a brainstem that was born mutated.
Yeah.
I think basically because of the fact that the mutation occurred in the embryo and it continued to occur as the embryo was still developing.
Yeah. And they were talking about how like it only lasted in the body for so long, but the reason why it disappeared after so long is because it got stuck in the bloodstem and the brainstem, and there's nothing you can do to get it out, I guess. And that's why kids are having autisms. And there was a documentation that this dude
I
went.
think there's also something wrong with our food, our water.
Food, everything, bro.
Right? They
Everything.
got all these coloring chemical agents that they're letting, you know, the dicks, I'm not going to say who, the FD.
Yeah, bro.
The
That's
dicks.
why. That's why I'm ready just to go buy some land and get the fuck out of here. You know.
Even then, man, it's like they control the weather. They can literally laser fucking the cloud, and next thing you know, it's raining or it's burning fucking hail or another fucking catastrophe, right? And I mean, just look it up. It's called the HARP Project, right? So what happens is, and it's a funny joke that these guys in the military do.
Wait, man, I want to get back to the aliens, the little gray people. You skipping the
I think
little
all
gray
of this
people,
comes
dog.
from them.
Yeah.
All the little gray people.
Yeah.
So I got two theories.
Working. They've been working for so long.
Well, I got two theories.
Okay, let me hear.
My first one is time traveling, right? In the future, humans got to the point where epiphanies kind of, right? I had an epiphany one day where I was like, what if this got to the point of mass, like, you know, Einstein said World War III would be with sticks and stones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think even past that, World War IV, technological or cyber, and then even more, right? And more. You get beyond nuclear, everything's catastrophized. These are us mutated, you know what I mean? And either the shortest or the biggest and tallest could survive, nothing in the middle. Because the smallest was the most recessive, right? Alleles, genetics, right? Those were the tallest were the biggest, the dominant alleles, right? So basically, those chromosomes mutated, you know, to what these people are. Yeah. And then there's that whole inner Earth theory, you know. That's the
over the Antarctica war or what? That's the hollow Earth entrance is beyond the wall of Antarctica. They say.
Well, there's a flat earther theory. Yeah. Then there's a inner Earth theory, right? They kind of tie hand in hand, but not also directly.
It's kind of like that King Kong movie, Jay. Remember that?
I mean, imagine we're on a spaceship and there's just levels, and each level looks like a different realm or simulation. But then think about like chakras, right? Like it's actually spiritual.
And different levels of frequency that you access.
Exactly. And that's kind of like what I was saying, where I you know, was aware. And I became like very aware of this shit when I was a kid, bro, watching TV. Because I didn't know English, remember, when I came here. I came here when I was 5. So I had to learn English. And they would tell my parents, your son has a learning disability. My father laughed at them. You know what I mean? Because he's like, my son speaks 3 languages. He can read and write 3 languages. I don't know what you're talking about, remedial. He looks at me, hey, Sutayu, in my language, like, hey, what's wrong? You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, they just mean. My teacher's racist. You know what I'm saying? Everybody picks on me and tries to bully on me. Ain't nobody nice. Ain't nobody trying to be my friend. Like, why would I sit there and cooperate if everybody's against me? You feel me? Yeah. And I had to stand up for myself, I told him, basically. And he told it, you know what I'm saying, the principal, what I was saying. You feel me? And I ain't getting to know, you know what I'm saying? I ended up actually graduating with honors in grammar school, you feel me, at like top of my class. Same thing with high school. And then my mid-junior year of college, I was the victim of that drive-by. And, you know, I've been playing catch-up for the last 10 years. But as I've been playing catch-up, my last year, my ass was a victim advocate. And all of this ties back into this stuff with the aliens. Yeah. Believe it or not. Like, because with me, it's like they're telepathic, right? You got there's like 4 or 5 or 6 different types. You got the tall ones, you got the short ones, you got the big heads, little heads. Yeah. You know, and if you look
and that kind of goes into the theory of Las Vegas, too. They said there were some big figure of beings, you know what I'm saying, standing in the middle of the...
Yeah. Oh, you talking about those 2 giant looking dudes or whatever? No,
recently they said a spaceship landed in the backyard of somebody's house in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And then like...
that whole video, I actually got a screen recorded. And you never know when they're going to take it down.
Yeah, because
I got it for the footage. I was like,
because the cop was kind of crazy because he caught it on tape, like on his his camera. And he seen it, like he seen like a shooting star. He's like, oh shit, you seen that? He's like, I'm kind of freaking out right now because I seen this thing fall while we were talking to those people over there.
Yeah.
Now we get a call about fucking aliens in the backyard with a suspicious craft. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy to think about. Like, I believe though we are like true descendants of aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like the Sumerian Kings list. You ever heard of that?
The Sumerians king list?
The Kings list, the Sumerian Kings.
That sounds very... Oh, the Sumerian kings. You talking about the 8 immortals?
Yeah, the ones in the beginning that supposedly land here, the first ones that came in the rise of Egypt.
I don't think those were...
Those like Anunnaki, the Anunnaki people.
So see,
Kind of
look,
like that storyline.
in Indian mythology, right?
Okay.
Growing up, I learned a lot about these beings that came from other planets.
Yeah.
Now, humans, to my knowledge, right, the human race
Yeah.
versus mankind are two different things.
Yeah.
And people generally, what are you talking about? That's the same thing, wordage. But no, in all actuality, there is so much more complexity between these words and the definitions of how they describe what is going on. Like America was actually of Moroccan originally, right? The land of the Moors. But also even more Egyptian and so much more other sacred hierarchy, right? All right in front of us that people try to delude or keep hidden.
Oh, they've been.
For no reason.
For the beginning of time, they've been trying to rewrite history for us.
Well, people have been trying to tell us otherwise. And see, that's the thing. I disagree. And I'm one of those people who are like, nah, well, you lying. You just, this guy that did this, and you probably found this artifact or relic that does this with time or that does this with this. And, you know, a lot of these ancient mythologies actually explain, you know, that's why you get all of these architectural, you know, researches, right, and archaeological digs, right?
Yeah.
Funded by who? The Smithsonians, right? And then guess what they do? They bury it. It's never existed. We don't know what you're talking about. There's not even any paperwork there, right? But my bloodline dates back to these guys and even before them. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really concern or worry me. You know what I mean? I'm just another branch of that tree.
100%.
So anything that would happen or occur would be to those that would try to actually cause harm versus me who's trying to just awaken so that everybody can transcend versus that burning point. Unless y'all really trying to stay down here, supposedly. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I think that's the consciousness, right? That's the state of being. I wake up and people ask me how I'm doing, man, another day in paradise.
Another day.
Because I still got my creators in my life.
So that's why you gotta wake up when the sun come up, man. You gotta go out there and enjoy every moment of it. You know what I'm saying? You can't wait. You can't wait and burn daylight. You know what I'm saying? Let that shit go by.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying?
I think there's so much more though, man. Like,
and you said, like you said, to get to that next frequency too. That's
what do you think?
That's the importance of us having these conversations and meeting each other. Because you know why? Because we're supposed to be meet at this point in time. You know what I'm saying?
It was destined. I got your answer though, and I want to go back to the Grays. Where do you think, right? Like, so the Men in Black movie.
Yeah.
It kind of clearly told us that there'll be a landing in Vegas.
Yeah.
Even The Simpsons told us, but even, you know, it's been like told so many times right in front of us. We just don't like pay attention. But it's TV, right? Who wants to be brainwashed?
So for me, I had a real big spiritual trip. I told you about this last time we met, right? And
which one?
When I took the excessive amount of shrooms.
Okay.
And like it came to a point that I realized like we are just another avatar body in this life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And our spiritual selves has been traveling the universe for thousands of years. We've been repeating the same cycle for thousands of years, but in different times. It's called the eternal now. You know what I'm saying? An infinite line of us, me, you, in now, past, present, and time, and future. You know, living in the eternal now, and like we already done this thousands of times before. Me and you already sat down and have conversations 1,000 times before.
Well, actually, I
think different avatars.
This is happening right now 1,000 times over and over, infinitely in many
variations. Yeah.
And that's the paradox theory, right? Of infinite timelines, where even in one timeline this happened, the next timeline this happens, and with the energy and the frequency and the guidance of the ancestors, and the the tree of knowledge is the ancestors,
Yeah.
right? If you have access to your tree of knowledge, you are in tune with your ancestors.
Yeah, 100%.
And that is just your membrane, your cerebral cortex. It is your subconscious, your super subconscious, your ego, your alter ego, and your super crown chakra, your super subconscious. That's your inner thoughts, the ones that you really try to hide from, those scabs that really turn into wounds of pains that you never even remember anymore, let alone, but they trigger you some way, some shape or form. And the way you overcome those, is literally accepting what has happened, why it has happened, and how you will grow. And then when you figure that out, that's the beauty, you feel me, of the next chapter.
Yeah. And the beauty of open doors, like once that frequency breaks, bro, and you realize that about yourself, like you just focus on yourself and everything else will start falling into place naturally and organically, man.
Yeah, brother. So to answer your because you had that question and I'm still like stuck on it. I feel like I haven't answered it. Yeah.
Where we come from? So back to the Sumerian list, the Anunnaki. So there was like they owned the technology so advanced when they first got here, supposedly.
Do you think the Black Panther movie's kind of based off of their technology with the vibranium? Okay, just food for thought.
I mean, that could be a theory, though. Yeah, that's another theory.
That was one of my theories, right?
You know what I'm saying?
As far as Anunnaki, right? Those, to my understanding, right?
Yeah.
There's Anunnaki. That is, how do I say this? Break the word down, right? Phonetics, Phoenicians. They were the first people to have sound versus
frequencies.
No.
Vibrations.
Sound. Frequencies and vibrations
can
be considered sound, but frequencies and vibrations are two different. Even them in their most naked form. Consider this for a second. Those words in their naked form are an equation as well. The syllables that put them together. So when I was trying to relearn Sanskrit and Gujarati, my native tongue, I was getting to a point where everything was starting to make so much more sense. Especially, bro, like when I learned Spanish in high school, it clicked like this for me. Like a snap of a finger. Everything from counting 1 to 10 to mother, father, like basic computational, like basic communicating words. It was nothing for me. De nada, way. Porque que I was able to feel like I was speaking my language.
Yeah.
And that's why I always got into like this historical research thing, right? And connecting the mythological myths and actually debunking the myths to the truth, the facts behind it, which I do know and where they are. You feel me? Like people say, I know where the bodies are buried. Cool. I know where all the documents are buried. You get rid of me, you get rid of all the documents. Because maybe you can't get to the documents even if they're buried, even if you find them. They might be in front of you, but you can't see them. Or you can't feel them, or you can't get to them. Yeah. It's if you know, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the beauty, you know what I mean, of being able to understand, right, the realms of existence. A lot of people confuse, you know what I'm saying, the other parts of the world, right, as not knowing what's actually going on and what's been going on.
Yeah.
Technologically speaking, right? And that's just, not the case. It's never been the case. And it just goes down to like, what is your purpose?
Yeah.
Like for me, I swear, I always ask myself that every day, and every day I find a new one. And I think that's just a part of my greater purpose and message and what I want to do in life. I told you the first time we met, which was last time, I want to see success on everybody's face.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it so close. And
Likewise.
I got to a point where life was just not about the money. I was happy. And and I didn't have money,
Joy, man.
But I was exactly. And that's just, that feeling is a different feeling. And when you get that, you're going to be so hungry, the money comes in itself.
It comes by itself, tenfold.
That's what I love telling our youth. The kids these days, like, they're so motivated and geared towards, like, doing things, and parents discourage them.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the problem.
And I'm super guilty of that.
And I tell parents all the time, don't like kids love video
But
games.
I learned that shit now.
Check this out, brother. Kids love video games, right? And our parents used to tell us, don't play video games. You're gonna get nothing out of it. You're gonna be nothing in your life. Forget all the video gamers in the world.
Well, I didn't do
now.
that. I definitely encouraged the video gaming.
But because it kept them in the house, it kept them safe, kept them out of trouble. And
That's
you
it.
knew that.
That too is just something he was interested in. So it was like, but then he got a guitar, then he got a drum set, then he got a bass.
Wow.
You know what I'm
He's a
saying?
musician.
And now he's got a studio
got a
to
whole
come make
musician.
some tracks. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, and it don't cost him nothing because it's his dad's.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah,
Just
free. Yeah, just
that's
'cause
that's
it's
what
your
I'm
dad."
saying. This is the platform that I built. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's the beauty of what you're able to do. And I really appreciate the grind that you like really put into this effort, man. Really, because this photo studio, like the photo booth behind me that's coming along, you know what I mean? To this just podcast setup, to the studio setup, and the actual booth.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, man. And it's just like back at home vibes.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm literally chilling at the crib.
With your
feel
peoples, though. With your family.
you know,
Just
and
chilling
that's how it's supposed to be.
all the time, bro.
And most of the time it's not, and that's the problem. You know, so I encourage you all, get out of your discomfort.
Yeah.
Lean into your discomfort
Yeah.
because that's what's gonna make you.
Yeah, 100%. Be different. It's okay to be weird. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see what's going on with this peanut butter mints, brother.
What we got over here? 93 boys?
Yes, sir. Vic Mensa.
Hey, I met you brothers at the Cultivation Fest. We got to tap in, God.
So I've been literally going to these festivals, bro, forever. But I've really been going for like the last 2 months, hardcore, nonstop, back to back, week to week, grinding. And I've gotten to the point where my directory is so long, but I'm not ready to stop. I got a whole nother year, and I'm just ready to keep building, because once this directory builds, we're gonna blow up even more. And it's gonna be so much more work on the table. Like, I literally just reached out to neighborhood alderman, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, Madam Alderman, I want to have an art exhibition. How do I get this started? You know? And this literally transpired with Universal. Me walking out of the coffee shop, stepping into the art photo gallery next door to the coffee shop, up the street from my block, called Emerald City Coffee.
Yeah.
You know, I hung out at the coffee shop, just literally trying to get some work done, getting some projects in order. And then, dude, literally, I see this art exposition. Now, this art exposition, bro, was beautiful. The photographer, Ada, spent 7 years. She's a native Mexican photographer, and she spent a lot of time in Mexico and in the borders, highlighting all of the struggles of the lives that the people have to go through. And it really explores why so many migrants want to come here and the struggles that they have had. We really need to try to figure out how we can help them, let alone start complaining about we're not have done enough. We've got enough resources. We need to start holding accountable our government officials for literally misappropriating funds in the name of good or in the name of God, in the name of write-offs or rollover funds, and then misallocating and misusing this shit. When we, the people, fucking start seeing some money, I swear, you know, I'm not a...
I know that, bro, but
I'm not a political guy.
I'm
I
just
hate to
saying.
get into politics.
No, it's just
but when
been
Trump
the
was
big.
in fucking office,
Everybody was eating.
Uncle T was giving me some fucking checks.
Everybody was eating. Uncle Tom was in the fucking building.
Fuck Uncle Tom. That's Uncle Trump.
Uncle Trump.
Uncle Tom was eating.
Uncle Tom
was eating off of us.
Yeah, eating off everybody.
No, that was Uncle Sam and
But
Tom. Uncle Trump was like,
Trump
here's a check.
had everybody working though. Everybody was making money. Shit was booming. And now we seen the worst economy in the last 4 years. My uncle said this shit too. He's like, y'all motherfuckers gonna be begging for Trump to come back in 4 years.
You know, Warren Buffett said a great quote, and I quote this shit all the time.
But bro,
yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
So the president's coming back to the Sumerian kings list. You know what I'm saying?
They're all connected.
Yeah, they're all connected to each.
Well, they're not related.
Their bloodline goes back.
They're not related.
They're supposedly all 49.
The presidents are related to each other, right? And then they are all related to a Dutch
family,
right? And
which goes back to the royal blood line. That's the whole reason it goes back to the queen.
Yes and no. You can beg to differ, right? A lot of these families came across property or heirlooms that weren't there, or scriptures or tribes, and claimed ownership.
Yeah.
Right, a long time ago, saying this is ours. But in fact, in reality,
just like the Jews did.
Even though these people know, well, you got people that are actual bloodline descendants. This Ancestry.com genetics, you are actually able to. But it would be nice if they gave us the formulas up front. Hey, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. Because if they don't, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
How did you do it? How are you telling me this? How do I know this is conclusive or accurate? Right? You're just telling me something that I'm paying for, and I gotta believe you. Doctors fucking tell me things all the time. I don't believe a damn thing they fucking tell me. Because I tell them shit, and they're like, no, you're fucking retarded. No, I'm not retarded. You sound like the lady that, try to say I had a learning disability. Excuse my French, but fuck you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Kick rocks. Like, I swear, that shit grinds my gears. Like, that shit's so saddening that y'all want to take a check. Like, any profession, in any jargon, in any form of figure of speech, y'all supposed to help, elevate, build. Y'all been destroying. For who? For what?
For man.
And it's going to catch up. Trust me. Trust and believe.
Oh, yeah. The great reset's coming.
The light always... the reset already happened. People just, that upload is slow because it's such a big reset, right?
Yeah, it's coming, though.
Think about it. Think
about
what I just
said. The bigger reset's coming.
No.
That's
the reset already happened. The upload is slow because it's such a big upload.
I'm telling you.
Like simulations, Matrix, like I've read this fucking crazy documentation, right, bro?
It's like the Oracle and the fucking
The military has been experimenting on the Matrix and knew about the Matrix since 1990.
Yeah.
Ain't that crazy? Declassified information up there. Just people don't know where to look or read.
Why you think that the books are, everything says the same shit, bro? Everything's been rewritten. We've been here thousands of times. Time travel, like you said.
And I think about my name, like, when it comes to things like that, because literally, as old as like the word Kush, is in Africa, you got the Kushites. In India, you got Kush, and like the land of Kush, and you got so much more ancestry and heritage. Even before that isn't just commonly known or available. Yeah. And if people just sat down, took the time to listen or ask questions to the right people, right? Do your homework, do your research, see where this shit fucking comes from. But most people just want to know what they want to know and want the answer.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the time to get the work done.
Or people just don't want to hear your perspective on your beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Or other people's beliefs, because they don't have an open mind, an open conversation,
Oh.
And that's what I feel like my destiny is with this podcast, man. Just meeting new individuals, new people, new conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you for having me, brother.
Yeah, love, family.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good shit, too. What else you got over here? You about to spark up? What do you just stuff that shit with now right there? Is this the 93 Boys again?
Yeah, that's the 93 Boys. Right before the 93 Boys, we were actually smoking.
My man brought a whole pack of.
So we just got done smoking the Golden Gate Bridge. That was by Cookies. That's a new release that they just had. I'm excited to have Cookies in Chicago. Shout out to Burner for doing that shit, because
let me see that.
They actually open that shit, bro. Smell it. You're gonna be fucking amazed.
They got a cookies shop here?
Yeah, they got Cookies in Illinois now. So you don't have to go out of state and fucking go to Cali, go to Colorado, go to Michigan.
So I met a guy that helped Burner cultivate this.
That's amazing. What was his name?
I don't want to give his name out.
You're fine.
But I met him in person. He's actually, I can't give his name out. Yareem Sleet.
Okay.
He's a brother.
Yeah.
He's actually like a 5%er, I think. Man, he's a national. But he was a cool brother, man.
That's what's up.
I met him on a fucking Clubhouse chat room, bro. When Clubhouse came out in 2020,
world, right?
bro. So I just hopped in and let him know about the podcast, and I was getting into wanting to know about strands and shit. So I ended up joining this cultivation room inside Clubhouse, and I heard these cultivators talk about growing marijuana, different styles of growing it, how you grow it. And this dude grew the cleanest buds, like the best buds, not the best organic buds you can grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
So this is like
If you talk about organic buds, you gotta look into living soil.
Yeah, all it starts in the soil, dog.
No. Living soil is like new type of soil that they're using for their weed now to grow, and it's just fucking amazing. Like gas, like everything from flavor to smoke to quality of burn to taste, just all fucking. It's like 10-star hash, bro. Like, you ever seen the 1,000? You ever seen the $1,000 sushi jar? There's a jar of like hash rosin, sushi. It's called sushi, right? They want $1,000 for it, bro.
Bro, I don't get too far of the flower, though.
Talk about fucking upsell, like the fucking market, right? But back to what I was saying, like with the weed. So I just appreciate quality, man, and it's hard for me as a connoisseur, right, who's been in the industry appreciating quality from the underground market for so long, and to see like a legal cannabis stream here, to appreciate, right, like what we have now. Now I want to see that money that we've collected and what it's going to be done with. I also want to see checks and balances, right, being appropriated in real time. That way we as citizens have in each state, right, having an address, have a say in where this money goes, because that's what we elect these people for.
Yeah.
And that's what I went back to with Buffett, bro. Like that quote, he was like, if
you can't find you can't show us where the money is going like that, then you're gonna have to get replaced. We'll take you down or something from the Congress. Like, you only can get 4 terms.
If the GDP of the United States was negative, those members of Congress are ineligible for re-election.
Yes. There you go.
And I think that would literally light a fire under so many lobbyists. And not just that, but it would also force a check, like a checkmate, sort of, where you're going to bring back.
Because then you won't have these motherfuckers that have been in there for 30 years, 40 fucking years sitting
with
there.
this old-ass racist mindset, closed, narrow-minded mentality. Take your ass to fucking Bufu, Huckville.
Go buy you a piece of land. You done robbed the fucking world. You know what I'm saying? Go
seriously.
Get the fuck out the way.
Just please, like, make some room for people that are trying to clean up the fucking world, that are trying to, like, actually help everybody, that are trying to provide, like, opportunity and a safe space for individuals to strive with opportunity without having to look over their head. You got someone creating an idea, you got someone patenting their intellectual property. You got someone doing this, you got someone running off with that. Like, make it make sense. In reality, if y'all just work together, think about how much further you would get. This is what's wrong with everybody. They just don't care. You know? Everybody cares about them.
Yeah.
And then they wonder why nobody cares about them. Because they don't care about everybody.
Yeah.
It's an individual mindset.
That's just like the podcast here. Like, everybody think you got to have a title to come on the podcast, man. You ain't got to have a title to come on the podcast.
For what, bro? Like, you was like, hey, man, I got this show. I think you're going to be great for it. Come by, talk. And I literally told you, bro, lock it down for a couple of hours because I can talk. And you were like, man, say less. And, you know, I brought enough for us to smoke. I know that.
Yeah, for sure.
You let me know, and you know what I mean, man? Like, I'm literally just excited and eager to see what, like, the universe brings my way, how I can help you, you know, because originally I wanted to see, like, just meet you, you know, and I met you through another introduction, you know, which was great energy. And it's always been about networking for me, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Who you know is what you know, not what you know, because what you know is not going to get you in the door or the job. Who you know is going to not only get you in the door, but it's going to get you the job. And, you know, these are just lessons that I had to learn falling so many times and having to pick myself up, because I was an immigrant kid, a village boy who came here at 5 years old with nothing. My parents taught me to be very frugal growing up. I never, you know...
Frugal, that's a good word.
I never, like, you know, had it good, so to speak. You could ask any of my friends, they'll tell you. And even still to this day, like, I try to remember my roots.
Yeah.
Because when I go back to India and I see some of the poverty, I laugh at the homeless people here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I feel bad for them, but I will genuinely...
But to the shit that goes down in India.
Like... And in third world countries that aren't third world, actually, it's a misconception. You know, it's a problematic issue where we don't have enough coverage.
Yeah.
If we got more honest reporters, more honest podcasts like this one that are genuine, willing to get the message out there to people, raw material, raw content, and just like have the influence of people being able to speak about who they are, what they want to do, and why. That's where the greatness comes from. Yeah. And it's all about tranquility. You know, you got to have people at the top. I am more of those, along those lines of that 1%er on top of that 5%er. So I don't really worry about that 5%. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel like I can keep them at the bottom of my feet, genuinely. And it's not about finances at that point. It's more about the intellectual. You know, most of these individuals, 5% or not, they're all still plugged up.
Yeah, I read a book about slumdogs in India, man. And some of the stories that I read in this book, it was like mothers leaving their kids on the train. You know what I'm saying? It's like a natural occurrence for there. That's because it's just like...
I mean, one of my experiences was just seeing a 12-year-old boy literally driving a rickshaw for his family to provide for his mother and his little sister and baby brother at home, as well as his father, who was sick. And this kid was 12 years old.
Yeah.
You know, he's driving a rickshaw. He's driving me. And this is my first time back. Guess how old I was? 13, 12.
Oh, shit.
12, 13. So
same age.
Yeah. This kid's my age and he's driving a rickshaw. He's doing what grown men and adults
What's a rickshaw? Is it like a double deck?
A rickshaw is a three-wheeler. So you got a little one wheel in the front and two little wheels on the side and the back.
Just getting around.
And it has like a little hut built around it on top of it, so you sit. You know, I fell out of one moving when I was, back sometime because they overcrowd them. Yeah. You know, in small places and stuff. Like when I was heading into the village, you feel me?
Fucking just hella traffic of those things.
I literally was sitting in the front seat, right? You would just expect it's me and the driver. It was me, the driver, two guys on his side, another guy next to me, and another guy. And there was like 8 people in the back, and I was just like, okay, yeah, no, this has got to change. Like, we've got some of the most advanced universities in the world here. We've got some of the most advanced pharmaceuticals. We've got some of the most advanced technologicals. Like, all flying infrastructures around the world actually come from Indian manuscripts that they're still trying to fully decipher to this day, even the periodic table. But the credit would never be given originally where it's due if the skin color or tone didn't match the time zone. So in that linguistics, you can already tell, like, there's been so much gap. And the precedence of, like, being an Indian here, being an American citizen, and experiencing so many of my civil rights, right, constantly violated, my freedoms constantly tarnished, the Constitution, people, like, disregard it like it's
that's not like it is a piece of
and
paper.
It doesn't exist. And I have to frankly, like, and that's what I was going up with earlier. Like, I was a victim advocate recently, as a victim of gun violence, as a victim of domestic violence, as a survivor of domestic violence and gun violence, and like learning, brother, that people don't care. You know what I'm saying? Unless they know that you have to express what you've been through. I literally went onto the front lines, became a victim advocate working for a non-for-profit, and I was like a first responder. I'd be going to the hospitals, talking to victims that had just been shot. I get an email literally letting me know that this guy's been shot, you know what I mean? They're at this hospital from the transponder agency.
Yeah.
And I get to the hospital, I gotta talk to the family. And, my mother, I got shot on her birthday. She lost her mother 3 days later. I had to wake up on my half birthday to my grandma being gone and my mother not being able to go pay her respects because she's got to look after her son, her older son at that, And I don't know. I realized that you got to make sure you're putting yourself into safe places and safe positions and safe times. And
100%.
You got to just take, life by storm because it's never promised. And I think I came back, with an agenda, with a mission, a purpose. And that is to break the cycle, that my family's been dealing with. You feel me? Whatever it is to provide what I feel like is needed. Even if it's already been there, right? I was never put forth to me. I never knew about it. I had to grow up frugal, when I wanted a pair of Nike Air Force Ones, this one's for your kids, bro. My pops got me. He literally took me to the flea market on the south side. You know the little the Airs? The Nike Air.
With the air on it?
Yeah, he got me one of those. And my little brother, and he said, here, I was so blue and I didn't want to be laughed at that I told him, hey, man, I love you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to use these for, like, park shoes if that's okay with you, And I worked that summer. I was 12. I got a worker's permit.
Yeah.
I talked to my school counselor. Hey, Miss LaRue, I want to work. How do I work? You need a worker's permit, baby. I got good grades. Can I get a work? She said, yeah, I'll help you. Got me the worker's permit.
At 12 years old?
Yeah, dude. And I worked that summer with my mom. You know how you get a driver's permit, I worked with my mom and literally worked at a restaurant store that she managed. You know what I mean? My mom was managing like a restaurant bakery at the time, an Indian sweet bakery, bro. Everything from scratch, amazing. They moved down to Florida. They got a business down there now.
No shit.
Yeah.
Where
at? Tampa and Miami.
Tampa and Miami?
Yeah.
I'll be in Miami.
Sharma Suites. Yeah, Sharma Suites. I don't know what they're called, but I know they were Sharma Suites and Royal Suites originally in Chicago, man. And I love that place, dude. But I worked in the Bolingbrook location that they had, and I learned a lot from the owner's wife because she taught me a lot of that business when I was growing up. So I've growing up just been in so many different industries and picked up so many things.
Yeah.
And what I did with that money when I got paid, I bought me and my brother some shoes.
Fire.
You feel me?
Yeah.
And I don't even know if he'll remember it. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so young, but it was just like, boy, you got some ones on your feet.
You got some Nikes, though.
You ain't no one fun to say my little brother got some Airs because, my boys, they was brutal.
That's how it was, man, growing
up, man, my boys was bullies. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, we American, we bullies. We don't get bullied, we
Yeah,
bullies.
bro, shit, one time I had these Payless boots on. Everybody thought I had lugs on, G.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but they weren't lugs, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, lugs was nice,
Lugs was a luxury shit.
People was sleeping on lugs.
Yeah.
Lugs was them boots that you could, put somebody to sleep in for real.
Them was heavy.
Thick heels, bro. Oh my God. And the weight, I low key think I was getting a workout on my calves.
Yeah, just walking with those motherfuckers.
Wearing them, yeah. Imagine trying to run in them.
They're fucking heavy ass. Everybody had those motherfuckers around the neighborhood too. It's funny as hell.
Oh man, life was good growing up. As a child, we don't have no responsibilities. All we want to do is grow up. If only we could tell the kids and show them.
Just chill,
hey,
right?
listen,
Relax.
Bro, don't rush it. Take your time. Appreciate the no bills until you hit 16 if you got some smart parents, 18 if you got some American parents, or none if you got some cultured parents, because your parents are going to love you to the end no matter what.
No matter what.
But they're going to get tired as adults of trying to raise an adult.
Exactly.
And, that's the problem with a lot of our kids these days in society. They want to be babied.
Yeah.
And with us as parents, I'm sorry, I'm not a parent, but I'm sure you as a parent and a lot of my friends who are parents, y'all worry about where they are, especially when their ages are certain ages. Like, once they hit that teenage age cycle, whatever we were doing, we were still good. Now the shit we hear these kids doing, it's just man, I was a kid. I know people that was doing that, but are you hanging out with people like that? I might, you know what, you my kid, just come hang out with me.
So I always try to stay on the lecture part with them. You know what I'm saying? Ever since they were young, man, since I can remember, I've been having adult conversations with them, just mature conversations with them, not speaking to them as kids, guidance. But just, you know what I'm saying? And I think I did pretty good. My son kind of gets more.
As a man myself, I've had a lot.
I got to do a podcast with him so we could really have a conversation. But I don't know, because he's he keeps shit from me. He doesn't open up all the way,
It's okay.
Yeah, but he got to let that down though. I'm Pops. You know what I'm saying?
You got to let that judgment down, Pops.
Yeah, it's
you feel me?
Yeah,
and that's the thing. There's repercussions for honesty.
And that's what I told him too. That's what I told him too. A lot about me rebuilding as a father and understanding the shit that I fucked up on as not teaching you as a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of the lack of guidance that I went through.
That's man, dude. Like me growing up here, my father was literally working 2 jobs, a day job and a night job. I had my mom and dad in my life gracefully. And I was blessed with that. And the thing was, my pops though, bro, busy.
Yeah.
So I was always looking for guidance. And he was my best friend. He was my superhero, my role model, like every kid's. Dad's working. Dad's home.
His thing, yeah.
Dad's taking us out. You know what I'm saying? And that was it, right? Growing up. And literally, Pa, I don't know when the last time like me and my dad don't argue.
Yeah.
That's my fucking best friend. And you know, I seen a video recently. I learned a lot from like visual. I'm a cognitive learner as well as an auditory and visual learner.
Me too.
You know, I'm all three spectrums like evenly almost. And what I got from this video, bro, was like the guy was like, you know, when divorces happen, it's because of two people, right? Not working out. No, wrong. It's because whoever that person calls when they run and argue to, that person's talking bad about that person, not you. But if you call 5 people that are talking bad about you and why you're wrong, that marriage is gonna work. You know what I mean? And
accountability, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't take self-reflection seriously because when they look in the mirror, they're trying to envision this person that they want to be in glorification.
And project themselves to be.
Yeah, but in reality,
it's like the avatar you created, like I spoke on about earlier.
Man.
It's like keeping up with what you gave the world.
Like,
what you perceived yourself to be to the world.
I have created Kush, you know, and Kush is this beautiful person, all loving, all like giving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And selfless. You feel me?
Yeah.
In the objective of making sure that everything is doing the way it's supposed to be.
100%.
Not going, but doing
just,
the way it's supposed to
be. Yeah, just let it go. Just let it be. You
like
know
a river. Flow.
Yeah, just let it flow.
And most people can't, and that's the thing. And genuinely, I have gotten to that point where I just leave.
Yeah.
I walk away, and I've learned that's the best for me. I go by the lake, I meditate, I let the water take away, I sink in, I sunset chase. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like, bro. When you look at the sky and you look at the sunset, it's literally like God's painting another picture today.
Every day.
And you get to literally be connected.
Witness that shit.
You know, to
grounded, bro.
To the reflection that is actually on the ground, because the sky is a reflection of the ground. And I know this because my name means the sky, endless space. You know, my proper name, which we're not gonna talk about right now. But
why not?
Well, Akash? Well, I don't know. I just don't really feel like getting too much into it. But my auntie named me. You know what I'm saying? And it just comes.
Your auntie named you, not your parents.
No. My dad's sister named me. From what I know,
is that like tradition though? Like from?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We've got a lot of different people in our families that have been named by different people in the families, and outside even. So there's definitely some traditions to it, but people like to change or switch it up. You know what I'm saying?
That's fire, though. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. Like, your aunt named you. That's cool as hell.
Man, my ex-girlfriend's grandmother her name was that. And she's from Trinidad, Tobago, right? And so her peoples had to have been from India if she had that name.
Yeah.
Because her mom's got the name Sita. Remember I was saying Ram's wife was Sita. You feel me? And then there goes back to that alien, conversation. Ravan. No one talks about Ravan. Ravan was like, this individual Sri Lanka, right? When you talk about Sri Lanka and Ravan, you feel me? There's more knowledge, you feel me, about the hidden arts.
Yeah.
You feel me, that they don't talk about openly, right? Like they talk about the medieval periods and the medieval times. What about these other knowledges? Like on the western end of the world, we tend to think this is it, but the western end isn't even the western. We got North America and South America. So in all of Latin America, because all of this was once Colombia, all this was Mexico, and, indigenous to the people prior. Yeah. So when we really get to the roots of civilization, the migrations, at the end of the day, the credit is due to everybody for helping one another survive and be able to carry the lineage and the bloodline instead of returning said runaway slave to said owner or ownership of fucking state or land. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Who the fuck? How the fuck do we even let people get away with shit like this? Now we got kids missing. You got organs fucking coming up missing. Now you got little children, fucking males and women, fucking the minute they're ready to produce, they induce them with steroids and fucking keep them sedated to fucking just take those embryos and those semen cells to be sold to the highest bidders in the European and American markets.
Bro,
like
there's probably already, I'm guaranteed it. There's not probably already, they're guaranteed there's probably already genetically modified humans out there.
Oh, dude. Tokyo had bionic robots. Like, for example, so you've seen Terminator 3, right?
Yeah.
Where it was like liquid, right? So Tokyo in '93 or '4 already had that state of art technology. Yeah. It's released. They were mass producing a long time ago. So that's nothing.
Japanese, I mean, Japan's what?
Well, the minute we did Hiroshima, you guys got to remember, like, they literally said, hey, listen, sorry. But on the back end, yeah, okay, they fashion capital of the world.
Yeah, they can.
And then look at the fashion world and look at the music industry. Who controls that, right? So, and what do you got to do, right? So, who's your gatekeeper, right? So, you keep it moving to what the orders of, you know what I'm saying, fraternal services are to these brotherhoods, sisterhoods, or organizations that tend to look so hidden, but actually, in fact, originate from, again, these sacks.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a motherfucker that's genuinely like grandfathered in. You know what I'm saying? To a lot of shit that people don't even understand. So it's like, oh, hold on, let me override you for 1 second. My bad. Pardon my intrusion, but let me correct you real quick, child.
Yeah.
Like an old soul, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I've been feeling like that since I was born, bro. Like I'm over 2 million fucking years
Well, that's
old.
the reason why we cross paths, my brother. To get more enlightened. You know
Another
what I'm
lifetime.
saying? Yeah, no, in
Another
this lifetime.
No, I'm saying another lifetime that we met has been now reunited in this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's
Eternal now,
beautiful.
man.
Yeah,
Infinite
brother.
time. It's the same parallels over and over. Difference is we come back to the same point because we got to get back to where you need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
And that's like the power of frequency. That's why I believe frequency is like the first language, like our sounds, vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how powerful they can be, like healing. Our words, our vibrations that are out to come out of our mouth. You know.
When we
Speak to the universe, the vibrations.
everyone listens.
Yeah.
The seed root vibration entering into manifestation is speaking.
Yeah.
Akash.
Yeah. That's why, that's a theory of mine that I believe that fucking frequency was the first language.
Phoenicians sound.
Yeah.
So Phoenicians had sound. They didn't have language.
Yeah.
If you
It
consider
has
sound as
a
language,
frequency.
then yes.
Frequency vibrations through the
Something
air.
so interesting, dude.
Hertz.
Have you ever imagine taking a metal plate, right? And you have a palette that's gonna distribute the frequencies, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
and it shows you the different patterns.
Now imagine putting sand on there and every frequency has a different pattern. I guarantee you, each pattern is actually a code. Now, matter of fact, it's actually a cure to every disease that has a frequency. Now you take the disease, see what frequency it resonates off of, and counteract it with what frequency it needs. There's another form of healing, right? Sound healing.
It's like Nikola Tesla's 6 ways of healing, 6 frequencies of healing.
369.
Yeah.
You talking about the sacredness between the numbers that he found interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Electricity's free. There's no need.
It's already in the air, just like water's in the air.
Pay for it, literally. Like it's been around.
You seen that gentleman that created that machine that creates literally water from the atmosphere? He's an engineer. He's an army engineer.
You talking about the hydrogen?
Yeah, the hydrogen fucking. Yeah, it runs off fucking.
You're gonna have to open that.
What is this, by the way? What are we going?
That is the Raspberry Sherbet by Tales and Travels. Now, Revolution is actually my favorite.
Bro, I'm fucking chopped as shit right now, though. I ain't gonna cap.
Revolution, hey man, you're smoking with Kush. Kush and coffee. You gotta get.
Look at this shit right here. This shit glassy right here.
Thank you. Man, that raspberry shortcake, right? Is it raspberry shortcake?
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, raspberry shortcake. It's a raspberry Bellini and slaps. Dude, this shit is fucking tasty.
Dude, look at this.
And not just tasty, like it's fucking amazing on the high. Revolution owns Tales and Travels, right? And they've been doing phenomenal with the weed. One thing that I appreciate about the cannabis industry, right?
Yeah.
Revolution took the genetics, guess where? To the next level. Guess
Did
what they did? They crossed.
I smoked some of their shit. They had some good shit. Revolutions had some good shit.
They cross-engineered their genetics. So their indica strains come out sativa, and their sativa strains come out indica. How cool is that, bro?
I'm telling you. Bro, you know what I'm trying to do though? I'm trying to be on my cookie shit too though.
Oh, dude. You talking about like cookies, flour? Oh yeah, man, definitely.
And then you can help me get there, dog.
That's definitely the goal.
You know what I mean?
The genetics is gonna be one of the next mainframes. That I'm gonna be taking my time into.
Yeah.
Learning about, and then other than the genetics, I also want to just like figure out what I can do to help the industry as far as the employees and workers in the industry. And then other than the employees and workers in the industry, most importantly, the accountability on the industry side with the amount of profit being generated, that other than the major corporations that wanted to take full stake, sure, cool. But why don't you guys, unleash some of that capital now, because that's it. We've had enough. Or you can pay the ultimate premium tax. And that'll be 50%, as I like to call it. Because what's nice about things like that is when you're in an industry where there's a lot of red tape, or you're going about it, and the Senate actually did the industry a favor recently and has put up to par legislation for banks to actually be able to have business. And that right there is a paper by Daily Roller. That is another brand that I've actually started collaborating and promoting. Shout out to Blake. He is doing tremendous work on the forefront of the cannabis line. Like, literally, I'm so proud of the young man. Smokers Responsibly Social are the events that he's been hosting at Midlanes. This is the gentleman that's actually hosting the event.
Oh, no shit.
Yes. He's been, behind the scenes really hard. Xochi, there's another brand right there. That's Xochi 773, that's been out there. It's doing its thing. And then other than Xochi, you got Dank Hill with the dabs. He's been doing his thing, phenomenal work with his dab bar. I'm very proud of him.
Oh shit.
These are people that have been in the industry, and
gotta get that guy on the podcast. Bring his dab bar to the podcast.
Oh, definitely. And we gotta get you to Midlanes to come out and do a conversation. I need you to come out there and like.
I'm already scheduled, bro. I'm already scheduled.
And that was the first thing that like we connected on and talked about, like, hey, Hank, Hank.
Yeah.
And we literally was like, oh wow.
I'll call this motherfucker right now.
Dude, it was fucking phenomenal. It was literally phenomenal.
Bro, that's just the way the universe works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Literally.
Like we're compatible energies, bro. That's all.
And then, dude, I just started smoking this island flower. I tried some of their garlic Z. It was fucking fabulous. I picked up some of this banana pudding flower. This shit is at a 33%. Dude, like, I'm telling you, Illinois bud has been phenomenal. And I hate that, like, fucking, like, our hustlers, I love them. I used to be a hustler. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a fucking hustler. You can't take the hustle out of me. You can move me around.
Of course.
But I'm always,
the culture is always going to be there.
You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, like, I'm looking at this shit like, yo, we came up. Stop hating on my city. Stop hating on my state. Because this game, this shit for real. Drill Illinois, Chirac.
Yeah.
We really on the map. And Cali, cool. I love Cali, bro. I go down there. I'm loving my Cali weed. I love my West Coast. Go down in NY. I love my East Coast. But
bro, in the Midwest,
know what's up with the Midwest.
In the
Don't
Midwest,
fuck with Chicago.
The Midwest, they got some good growers out here, man.
Why they call this the city of Capone? I mean, for real.
I don't know. Why they call it that?
We got the tracks. Y'all, everybody got to go through and pay the passing tax.
Pay the tax. You got to pay that tax.
But no, that's just a joke. Like, I feel like it's the city of Capone. Also, like, this is central, right? This is HQ. This is home to everything. Like, everything started here. If you know, you know. And bro, I'm not going to go over here and sugarcoat, I know this, I know that. No. Please tell me what I want to know. Because obviously a lot of y'all know more than me. And me, I'm just like, man, 32-year-old sponge. I'm still a sponge. I'm a kid at heart. I'm still learning too. Literally trying to be, you know what I'm saying, the best man I can be. Because the version
of yourself.
The version of me now will still never be enough. It's like Dragon Ball Z, baby. I'm going to be Goku and Vegeta combined and some. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be bigger than even that God mode. You know? Like.
We are, bro.
And that's just.
Because we are the creators of our own universe.
You know what I find so interesting? Actually, think about the new Dragon Ball Super, right? Have
Yeah.
you watched it?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, you gotta. If you watch Dragon Ball Z
Yeah,
growing
I
up,
do.
dude,
I have.
watch Dragon Ball Super. You're gonna love it, bro. And thank you for the creators for coming out and doing this for us. Like literally on the Dragon Ball Super shit with the anime, y'all did some things with y'all shit. Appreciate y'all. What I would like to express was basically the God in Dragon Ball Super, right? Is actually, if you pay attention, a kid. It's a child.
Yeah.
And imagine the innocence of a child, right? The preservation of that is the importance in that, right? And when someone chooses to understand and indulge in the different ways of what is to what was, and the fruition is so joyful.
That's why, man, I just get back to my kids, bro, and just teaching them the natural things of life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, literally.
Like cultivating, man. Like teaching them how to plant a garden and grow a garden.
That's amazing.
And they're all like 3, 2, 4, and like they're all 16 months apart. So they're 2, 3, and 4.
You know.
So like I had to have my little discussion with my oldest daughter today because she was eating berries, right? But the little sisters wanted some berries too. So she didn't want to share though, and I told her like, you're the big sister. This is kind of like your job too. You gotta make sure your little sisters eat first too.
Yeah.
You know? And she was kind of sad, and I was like, this is why Mama and Papa make sure you eat, right? You gotta help because you're the big sister. So they look at you for help because they know you can get them stuff, you get them food, so you gotta help them.
You're the one that's in charge.
Yeah, you're the big sister. So you gotta take care of them, okay? Okay, you know? Instead of just yelling at kids, because, you know, a parent's way of, like from my culture where I grew up, I don't know how you grew up in your culture, you know? It wasn't just like our mother and parents were good and happy and peachy. We seen growing up, you know? Everybody deals with their own shit.
I grew up in a domestic household.
And plus you come from India where it's like fucking poverty is super low down there when you're fucking 5.
I believe what I was told was my grandmother was like 13 and my grandfather was like 26 when they got married. And my grandmother gave birth to 12 kids. You know, my grandmother had 12 children. My father had 11 siblings.
Yeah.
Including himself.
12 siblings.
My bad.
Yeah, you're good.
9.
9?
Yeah, 9. I'm adding moms.
Dad, give me one of those beers. You want a beer?
Oh, yeah, sure.
We've been going at it for like 2 hours, man.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, dog.
Dang. That's crazy.
It happens like that, man.
Man, I didn't even realize it, bro.
Now, we could chop it up, though, and watch this game, watch a little bit. We could chop it up some more and chill. Kick back a little bit.
Kick back. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Kush and Coffee. Look out for your boy Kush.
Yeah.
I'm doing some real big things. I'm going to be just literally on the move. You know what I mean? Young philanthropist at heart, young innovator with a lot of creativity, motivation. If you ever want to brainstorm, you ever want to reach out, you want to consult, you want to talk, brother's going to tag me on the chat. And, we'll just, you know what I'm saying, rock out. Let me know, guys. Any feedback is always great feedback. Salute.
Salute, peace. Peace, God. Appreciate you coming on, spreading some knowledge, spreading some insight, some enlightenment, some education. Salute to that. We're going to kick back, man. Appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
We're going to take it back out with your boy from 773 over here, freestyle.
Let's get it. Young Vic doing his thing over here in the city, man. 93 boys.
We know you ain't really first shit to do.
First things first, I'm back at it and back in it. Fix my lean habit, niggas be ad-libbing. Quit with the backpacking, this ain't no backpack shit. Every book bag I had pounds in it. Let y'all boys keep the attention. Glorifying all of the horror stories we get left with. 4 or 5 niggas be bending corners through your section. Ghost riding all type of forms, we misdirected. And I'm supposed to sit by watching my young niggas die, listening to y'all niggas lie. Say they keep this shit 100, but 100 niggas try. How you from one hood throwing 100 different sides? I done heard your fairy tales like 100 different times. Gave June 45, it's like 100 on my mind. Only West Side niggas still 100 on the 9. And ask your bitch, she say I keep this shit 169.
Wear my region on my neck, I'm the Southside Prince. Prince at First Avenue, get my revenue rinsed. Benjamin Franklin's in the sink. RP Killer Cam rocking all pink. 10th grade styling niggas thought the shit was gay. Pause, fast forward, now they ride the same wave. Skinny jeans, Billie Jean, been a Don. Squad look like United Colors of Benetton.
Been a dream, been a king, nigga, been a god, been a